I'm Callie, reading for reviewer Kevin Knazevic. Luigi's Mansion may directly trace its lineage to the Super Mario franchise, but the series is, in many ways, its complete antithesis. Whereas Mario's adventures are filled with platforming challenges to overcome, Luigi's have been decidedly more methodical, emphasizing careful observation over quick reflex. Luigi's Mansion 3 very much continues this tradition, but the tightly crafted set pieces assembled here illustrate just how compelling this style of gameplay remains, and the new mechanics and freer structure make it perhaps the best installment in the series yet. Once again, Mario's cowardly brother finds himself unwittingly thrust into the role of hero when Mario, Princess Peach, and her entourage of toads are kidnapped shortly after the group checks into the Last Resort Hotel. Luigi narrowly avoids this same fate by escaping down a laundry chute and landing in the hotel's basement, where he soon reunites with Professor Egad and his trusty Poltergust, a modified vacuum cleaner that can suck up ghosts. The Poltergust serves as the basis of Luigi's entire range of actions in Luigi's Mansion 3. Despite being a more adept jumper than his brother, Luigi's feet are planted firmly to the floor throughout nearly the entire adventure. His primary means of interacting with the environment instead comes through the Poltergust's numerous abilities. On top of being able to suck up debris and blow out air, the vacuum comes equipped with both the strobe bulb and the dark light from Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. Complementing these is a handful of satisfying new abilities. The suction shot fires a plunger that can attach to certain objects, allowing Luigi to swing or pull them, while the burst releases a gust of air that knocks crowds of enemies back and lifts the plumber momentarily off the ground. The most vital addition to Luigi's ghost hunting repertoire, however, is the slam. Latch onto a ghost and you'll charge up a meter that lets you bash them repeatedly on the floor, inflicting extra damage. Not only do these new abilities feel like natural extensions of Luigi's skill set, they inject a welcome bit of action to the gameplay and open up new approaches for taking on enemies. You can slam one ghost into any others that are nearby, damaging multiple foes at once, and later encounters will force you to use the other skills at your disposal as well, making battles consistently enjoyable. Outside of combat, the Poltergust's most significant new feature is the ability to summon a gooey doppelganger of Luigi called Gooigi. This goopy clone retains the same abilities as Luigi, but his gelatinous body can slip through fences, grates, and even spike traps, letting him bypass seemingly insurmountable obstacles and discover hidden corners of the hotel. Certain enemies and objects will also be much too large for Luigi to swing on his own, requiring Gooigi's extra set of hands, and a number of rooms feature pressure-sensitive tiles that one character will need to stand on while the other acts independently. Once you unlock Gooigi, you can play through almost the entire adventure cooperatively with another nearby player, and the game lends itself well to either co-op or solo play. Many of the puzzles you'll encounter require Luigi and Gooigi to work in tandem, which makes exploring the hotel with a friend enjoyable. Solo players, meanwhile, can swap between Luigi and Gooigi to quickly take control of either character as the situation demands. You'll never encounter a scenario that can't be overcome solo, although a handful of bosses and puzzles are clearly designed with a second player in mind and are a bit more cumbersome when you're juggling both characters. Much like Dark Moon, Luigi's Mansion 3 makes clever use of your small clutch of abilities. Every puzzle you encounter while exploring the Last Resort can be surmounted by observing your surroundings and employing some combination of these skills, although it certainly won't seem that way for many. You'll frequently come across puzzles that offer no obvious solution, which makes finally figuring out the answer all the more satisfying. On top of that, the hotel houses a wealth of collectibles to find. Coins, pearls, bars of gold, and other valuables are tucked away in treasure chests, toilets, and any other compartment you can imagine, encouraging you to poke around. There are also 6 unique gems to find on each floor. Many of these are deviously hidden, and you'll need to study your surroundings carefully to figure out how to uncover them, which makes taking the time to explore every nook and cranny of the building constantly rewarding. Each floor of the Last Resort is its own self-contained level and adheres to a different theme, running the gamut from restaurants and gift shops to medieval castles and ancient Egyptian pyramids. This variety keeps the adventure pleasantly surprising throughout. Gaining access to a new floor is always a delight because you never quite know what to expect when the elevator door opens. In order to reach these floors, you'll first need to take on a boss ghost and retrieve the elevator button in their possession. These boss encounters are another highlight. Each one has a distinct personality that's charmingly conveyed through their animations. These personalities help elevate the bosses above the rather forgettable ones from Dark Moon, and each battle makes that of Luigi's skill set in clever ways. The controls, however, will occasionally get in your way. To shine the dark light, you need to hold the X button, which means you can't move the right analog stick to adjust your aim while using that ability. The game compensates for this by letting you aim using motion controls, but you're limited to aiming up and down, making it an inelegant solution. The suction shot suffers from a similar issue. Rounding out the package are 2 dedicated multiplayer modes, Scare Scraper and Scream Park. The former challenges up to 8 players, either locally or online, to complete successive floors of a tower within a strict time limit. Scream Park, meanwhile, is a local-only party mode in which 2 teams compete against one another in one of 3 different minigames. Both modes can be fun diversions, particularly Scare Scraper, which straddles the line between competitive and cooperative. However, they're comparatively shallow and lack the same appeal as the main game.
Thank you. Over here! Over here! Help!
While the multiplayer modes might not hold your attention for long, the strength of the Luigi's Mansion series has always stemmed from the satisfaction of exploring its carefully constructed settings, and in that regard, Luigi's Mansion 3 certainly succeeds. This game may not radically diverge from the series' formula, but it offers up another meticulously crafted set of challenges to overcome, while smoothing out some of the issues that held Dark Moon back, and the sense of accomplishment you feel when you clear a particularly head-scratching obstacle is just as potent now as the first time Luigi unwillingly stepped into a haunted mansion.